Is this thing on?
Good morning, Steamers.
Good
Do we have
morning.
a nickname for our crew in the chat
Well,
yet? I don't
that
know.
sounds kind of weird, don't it? I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. Steamers, I don't know. Thinking of something. Everyone, hi everyone. Already waiting for us in the chat. What is our name? What is our nickname for our crew in the chat? Help us out. We're here on the morning steam for Sunday, coming off the big Saturday. Carrie Davis, hello to you. Welcome. Great to
Yes,
have
that's a new
you.
commenter. I'm sure of
I
it, right,
love that. I
Carrie?
mean, let's get our new
Nope.
commenters going.
Yeah,
Let's say hello to everyone in the chat. I'm going to work on that, Mindy. Yeah, steamers might not
yeah.
be,
I don't know. Yeah, doesn't remind me of anything real good.
okay. Well, I mean, we're winners. We're winners, Blake. Okay. Hello, everyone. Yeah. Oh, look at Latifah. I can't. Oh no, I have to. Oh my gosh, look at that. Oh man, you guys are make it worthwhile all of a sudden. I didn't realize this was
All
going
of us.
to happen, Mindy. I thought we were just going to have a show, and I knew there'd be some. But now everyone comes here. I get it now. I'm starting to see why in my, uh, I mean, I kind of feel like I missed. I'm getting older. The technology's coming, and I didn't realize this is what happens, and I see why now. All those people with, great social media presences and great shows and how that works. So, wow, this is awesome. We got a big show today, of course, because of the Sunday football card, NFL Sunday, Major League Baseball, more NBA and NHL. Coming off our big Saturday, Mindy. Well, our team picks were, we got there. We
We were
showed
in the
progress.
green, right?
Took us. It was like, oh, I don't know, probably end up making about $2 an hour when it was all said and done for the morning steam team. But uh, anyways, still found a way to stay in the green despite that huge card. Maybe if we whittle it down. But some of the wins were impressive. What do you think about college football?
Oh, I liked it, right? I mean, I thought there were some really good games there. A lot of scoring, a lot of action. So, a little bit different than the kind of the past defensive games, that we were used to. I mean, so we didn't have to watch Iowa play someone that's only going to score 9 points. So we got to see Ohio State score what, 55?
Oh, oh.
The poor Hawkeyes. But you know what I mean? There was just a lot of action yesterday, a lot of scoring. So I thought it was a good day for college football myself. How about you?
Yeah, I thought really some good games. I thought nothing off the charts necessarily. I've had a pretty strong day myself on the college card. My day was centered around the baseball game, and that got a little, I got upset there at the end. But it never seemed like the Padres were going to be able to stay in that game. We talked about. I mean, I went under on the show just because I was kind of, or no, we went Phillies, right? But I.
Yeah.
Thought it might go under like contrarian. I didn't even put it out as a play or anything, but we went Phillies on the show. I mean, I'm not ashamed to say that against my team, but just felt like even when the Padres, got that lead, uh, didn't feel comfortable at all. And we talked about how this was the game. Our chat talked about, right? They talked about how if any game was going to go over, let's give credit where credit is due, Mindy. You talked about it too, of course, going over. But I mean, the chat said, right?
Yeah.
If any game was going to go over, this was going to be it. The Padres couldn't hang in there. Now they're in a must-win situation tonight. So, we'll talk about that game. Maybe you can cheer me up or whatever. Your guys pitching, but and we'll see what happens there. But and also we saw Houston have a nice performance as well.
Yeah.
Basketball.
And Ramon, we were both had our premium plays on the Yankees on that one, and the Yankees just got smoked. Still drinking too much champagne on the plane, I guess, or in the clubhouse, whichever.
Well,
So yeah,
Javier,
yeah,
let's face it. I mean, Javier, we were on him a lot during the regular season, and I just was, Cole, maybe the bigger name, maybe the more experienced guy type, but the Yankees couldn't hit. So we'll see what happens, today in that one, and then. Hockey, we had a real roller coaster with our team picks. We couldn't hit anything early, and then we swept the last half of the card to end up with a decent day there. And basketball, I thought we had some nice plays as well. We had the Toronto Miami game to go over. We had the
Yep.
Clippers and Sacramento under, so we ended up with a winning day
Right.
in basketball. Just the college card was just heavy, and we had just a few too many L's in there that cost us a strong profitable day. It really was just a wash with a little bit of green to cover our expenses there with our morning steam picks. So we're waiting to hear from the crew as well, hear from everybody in the chat as we pick all of our games today. Mindy, let's go over to Tony'sPicks.com before we get started and see what's going on over there and just hats off to the top of our board, Nick. 12-1 yesterday, and it's no fluke. I mean, look at the
Yeah.
numbers for Nick this month. 3,280 units. He's hitting nearly, just about 65% of his plays right now over at Tony'sPicks.com. Mr. Handsome is right behind him, Mindy, at 1,600 units over the month. So I'm clicking as well. But Nick, wow, yesterday. And let's also welcome Brandon to our team. And wow, what a performance yesterday by Brandon. 12-4. And look how deep the leaderboard runs. I'm not going to, say you're on there, Mindy. I mean, you've been at the top before. Let's face it. I mean, it's everyone's going to, but look how deep the board runs. We have 12 handicapper accounts at Tony'sPicks.com. 10 of them are in the profit on Saturday. All
Yeah,
that says
pretty
to me,
good.
Mindy, look, you guys in the chat are great. Everyone who makes their own picks, whatever you want to do in your life to make your picks, we do this professionally. So when there's a lot of opportunity on the board, this is what I think you're going to see from a service like ours. And again, if you look at some of the other multi-handicapper websites, with all due respect, we got a great team. We all put in a lot of work. We all had some profit there yesterday. Industry-wide, professional handicappers did very, very well yesterday. And when you have opportunities, so if you're doing your own capping, you're winning. Hey, we love it. Come on in the chat here. Tell us who you're on so we can all share the winners. But if you just need a little bit of help or assistance, especially on an NFL Sunday, why not consider us today, Mindy, over at Tony's Picks? What you got going?
Yeah, so I put a 3-pack out there for the NHL, for the NBA, and my early morning 3-pack for NFL right now. Still waiting for a couple more lines to see if they're going to go my way here for the later cards. So kind of still on the lookout there. But I have plenty of action for you today if you want to pick up some of those guaranteed packages. And what that means is that if I don't win 2 out of 3, then you get your money back on that. And then you get to go ahead and buy, I guess you would say you get your credits back so you can use it again at our website in order to get the next group of picks. Because we want to make sure that you have a good experience and that you win, of course.
So 4-0 yesterday in the NHL on your service.
That is true.
Pretty strong. Mindy, who were some? I know I also had a good day.
Let's see, I had the Maple Leafs. I had the Sabres. Man, it's like I just went through the hockey card this morning, so now I'm having a hard time remembering.
Okay, no problem.
You know who I had, right?
No problem there.
So you'd have to, yeah, click into it. Oh wait, I can
always.
Yeah. Now I'm curious because I'm like I can't even remember. Let's see.
How about the Sabres plus $1.40? You had the Avalanche.
You've looked it up, okay?
Yep. And again, that was another one of our team winners as well, as we combined to go under in that game. And boy, did that kind of go according. It did end up 3-2, but it was really going under for the, the game was 1-0 for the longest time, right? In a low scoring game. It also came through with the Flyers there as well on the puck line, but they win. Outright.
And then Ramon warned me about the Nuggets. Only won by 5. Darn it.
Yeah, the Nuggets didn't cover that number, and but that was just a video play for me. But yesterday, I had a strong day too. I'll go over to that and take a look as well. And I got a 5-pack loaded, so I want to show everyone what I have available today before we give out our free picks, our free winners. You can go over to Tony'sPicks.com and pick up my 5-pack. And look at those numbers right there, Minnie. That's pretty decent.
Decent's an understatement. Yeah, good work.
Good day yesterday for me as well. So I've got a 5 pack in the early window right there in the NFL. Uh, but I wrote up my little profile of the package there. I'm on a heater. Face it, 1,500 units over the last 7 days. Uh, when you're Mindy, when you're seeing the card, when you're seeing the ball good, you can't wait to get up to the plate.
Right, and that's exactly right, because we know that us as handicappers, we're going to have those ebbs and flows, right? So last couple weeks, I was up there on the leaderboard the whole time, and now you're up here again the whole time. So we know it's going to go like this. I mean, it's sports handicapping is kind of a game of failure. You want to come out more on top than not when average in this game is what, 52.5%, the break even point. So yeah, I mean, it's one of those that we do our best. We have proven strategies in order to make us successful over the long run. And so that's why we have decided to give our service out and, do this as our profession. So hopefully we bring some value with our insight for you guys to be successful, because our whole goal is to beat Vegas here all together.
Thanks, Carrie. That makes us feel good as well. Yeah, NHL has been actually kind of interesting as on our free picks as well. It seems like we've done a pretty good job there. So just take a look at some of those winners. My premium, Mindy, was on the over in that Oklahoma City and Denver game, even though I did like the dog there pretty
Mhm.
strong. And under in that Alabama game. That was a near lock. My Canadian football play, 4 straight for me in the CFL, and there's that Yankee play. You mentioned it. And I had the main event there, laid $2, but that's okay. I like Makachev in that main event. And here comes another string of winners here with UTEP at home, under Arizona State and Stanford, only 29 points scored, under in Hawaii and Colorado State, and over in the UCLA Oregon game. So I'm
I had
not
that one
just
as well.
I'm
Yes.
not just Mr. Under there, Mindy. Come on now and take a
Are
look
you
at
getting a
where
bad reputation? Is that what you're saying?
yeah, the Memphis and Tulane to go over, and another winner in football, Eastern Michigan. So did lose it, and I even lost a $2 play there in the UFC. So and still showing a pretty good day, up 5 dimes yesterday over at the site. So use the promo code Tony T at checkout to save 20%. You know who Tony T is, Mindy. I shouldn't just ignore showing all
I've
these
heard of
great
him before.
numbers. I mean, come on, Tony was 7-2 yesterday, so we better bump Tony up here and take a look at what he did. Oh, and look, he was on a 7-game winning streak there for the day before he ran into trouble at the end of the card. Who cares, Tony? Jeez, look at this number over in the Navy game. Oh, got that by a touchdown. Takes Duke as a dog, and they just made Miami look silly right now. Miami, big problem.
Turnovers. OMG.
Buffalo. With all due respect, the world was on Buffalo, and the world was right. Well, that was a pretty easy win. I say the world. I mean, I don't know. I think it was a pretty popular capper play.
Right.
I mean, I was on it. Everybody was on it. I mean, uh, he had LSU. I think we had Mississippi. I had Mississippi. So I don't know why I keep going against my guy Daniels, but under in the Yankee game. Great job, Tony. Takes Boise against Air Force and over in K-State. So, all right, let's
All
go.
right.
Yeah, let's get started. Enough talking about winning, right? Nobody wants to hear about winning. Nobody wants to hear people bragging about their wins.
Uh,
Thanks. Hey, young shards here, everybody. Great to have everybody here. Got hopefully we'll get a few more viewers coming in. If not, watch us. Hopefully you're watching on the replay. But all of our premium picks over at Tony'sPicks.com. Head on over to our website. Use that promo code TonyT at checkout to save 20%. I did say that. Okay. All right. It's time to get started with free picks galore here on Sunday as we get rolling with this. We're going to start with baseball because we're in the playoffs and I'm worried and everything. But let's start with the American League game, right? That one goes off first, if I'm not mistaken, in the matchup. Now, certainly, I don't know. Come on. I know yesterday, okay, we love Javier. Cole was elite, but maybe the Yankees have the pitching advantage finally in this one. today. Whether it will result in them getting there, I'm not sure, Mindy. But what do you think about today's game with Houston and McCullers and Yankees and Cortez? Actually, I've got them backwards, but let's
It's
just
okay.
start with this. Yeah, Padres of the day game. Forgive me.
Yeah, not a problem. It's one of these. So when I do my sports handicapping, I run my teams here through an algorithm that I've created. So most of my stuff is based off of numbers here, and I ran this one a couple different ways because I wanted to see how it worked out. So I ran it based off of just playoff numbers. And then I did it off of full season numbers here as well, right? So based off of just the playoff performances, this would be a lean to the Astros. But if I take a look at the season long performance, then it leans to the Yankees. So I come up with that. But with this, I also get a big time lean on the total, and that is going to be to the under. So with this, I'm taking the under 5-0 in the last 5 overall for the Astros. Under in 5-0 in the league championship games for those Astros, under 5-0 in the Yankees last 5 overall, under 5-0 in Yankees last 5 playoff games. You know how it goes. It's under 7-1-1 last 9 meetings, under 3-0 in the last 3 in New York. I'll take the under.
Well, I like that. I like Cortez too. I want to play the Yankees again. I mean, what's going to stop me from playing the Yankees again here is what I is kind of the way I feel though about this, and I do like the under there. I wish it was still 7. I mean 6.5. I know I could juice it down, but I don't know if everybody can get that, and I don't know if that's even the right price necessarily for me to want to do it. So I'm just going to play the Yankees again, Mindy, and take my lumps. I'm going to move it down here to a free play, right? I mean, that's kind of the way I do things. It's kind of like my beta when I get rolling and starting a league or whatever. Look, I've just lost with the Yankees. I had them as a premium. I, was like 12-5, whatever I was. It was one of my losses. So I'm going to pull it down to a free play here, and I'm going to go on the Yankees as a free play, and Mindy is going to be on the under as her free play in the American League. And all right. All right. I'm trying to stall so I don't have to. Maybe that's why I didn't pick the Padre game
I thought
first.
about wearing my brown again today, Ramon, but I
Yeah.
didn't want to, I didn't want to jinx you or anything.
I mean, I wasn't even like going all crazy at 3-0. I mean, I felt like and then even when they came back and get Soto hits the home run, it just didn't feel. It never felt right. It never felt comfortable at all, and But here's the thing about the matchup with Darvish and Wheeler is Wheeler. Not look, he's having a great year. He's been one of the best pitchers in the league, but he just seems to if he gets into a high scoring game, he gives it up. And when he's in a low scoring game, he still gives up just a little bit more sometimes than his opponent when he's up against elite. But at home, uh, that definitely is a big equalizer here. Phillies are a warranted favorite in this game now, and of course in the series. And the Padres' season would be over if they lose this game.
Yeah, and I mean, this I did the same scenario, right? So went ahead and took a look at if it's just based off of playoff performance here. The pick is to the Phillies. If I take a look over season long stats, the playoff tip is to the Padres. So basically what I take a look at again is the total here. I'm gonna go at taking a look at the over here. Over is 5-1, following a loss. Padres last 6. Over 6-1 Phillies last 7 versus right-hander. Over 6-1 the Phillies last 7 home games here as well. So I'm gonna look to the over in this one, and I do believe that Wheeler will be more offensive minded than not today. I know I shouldn't say offensive minded. I think he's gonna give up more hits, more long balls here today.
Well, hopefully that increases the volatility and gives the Padres a chance. I mean, they obviously had, they were able to do some damage against those Philly pitchers yesterday. I guess if Padres can get into the Padres bullpen. But again, it did seem, the guys they were using yesterday were all the guys that had the question marks, coming in after they got Clevenger out, who was struggling. Then they have Martinez and Mania. These guys have not been doing. That's not like the Suarez's or the haters when you're getting into the closing and the late innings of a game that they're in a tough battle in. So for me, I'm gonna I guess I'm gonna. Well, I want to take the Phillies, I guess, and they'll just close out the Padres and end the season. Good season, Padres. Take the Phillies with
Phillies or
Wheeler.
Ramon.
Yep. Feel bad. I feel bad. Hope no one's watching this here. None of my friends are watching, friends and family, and think I'm throwing in the towel. But the momentum just seems too much to overcome. And to me, in the postseason, that's a huge, huge factor. I could, Mindy's got the stats. She threw them at you, and I'm just riding emotion at this point. So forgive me. I'll take the Phillies. Nobody feel sorry. Not about me. It's not about me. It's about the team here. Okay. All right, let's get to the NFL now. If anybody, we've already previewed all the early games, Mindy, back on our Thursday show. They're all on Tony's Picks YouTube channel, also individually, and all the podcasts, all the platforms. All of our picks are out there somewhere, somewhere in internet land. You can hear all of our plays on those early games. And man, I'm pretty excited about the early card. I wish it was, time. Like I said, when you're seeing it, well, you want the games to show up. I mean, you want the money to come in. So let's talk about this card though. The 4 afternoon games and the Sunday night game we'll talk about. And we've got the Jets. No, the spread is not wrong. It's not backwards. It's not the wrong game. Yes, the Broncos opened up a 4-point favorite. Yes, the Broncos were a 7.5-point favorite on the far look ahead lines. Things have changed dramatically, especially since Wednesday with the announcement that Brett Rippon would be a quarterback for Russell Wilson. But I don't know, Mindy. I mean, Brett Rippon's been there with the Broncos. Wilson's the one ad-libbing all over the place. Maybe this is the right move, but the public doesn't think so. In fact, they figure the Jets are going to blast them right now because the totals dropped like 5 or 6 points, and the favorites flip-flopped as well.
Yeah, Rippon, to me, he's just really kind of never had much of the arm strength. When you watch him play, I kind of see more of the, wobble or ducks going down there. So yeah, I think it's going to be an interesting, matchup here with him and those Broncos. But the Jets, they're on the 3-game win streak. Beat up on the Packers last time. I am going to look to the total. I'm going to look to the under. We know that, this Broncos team doesn't let too many folks score. They just can't put up the offense. Under's 4-1 the last 5 meetings between the two teams in Denver. I'm going to go under the 36.5 in this one.
Okay. Yeah, I can't do it. I mean, just, the fact that, I get it, Rippon, but I mean, what's the difference? Is it Brett Rippon is a 5-point downgrade from Russell Wilson? I mean, that I just don't understand. I mean, that's what I don't get.
You don't think that you think that
Russell Wilson is negligible. I mean, Russell Wilson can't find his way right now.
You don't think he's better than Rippon?
Not at this point. I don't.
Really?
Russell Wilson. It looks to me like just a mediocre quarterback. Now, granted, he has some injuries. That's why it's not like they've made. Yes, maybe there's a little bit of switcheroo. Because
I just think Rippon is just not very good.
I know. I agree.
He was good at Boise. You know what I mean?
I don't want anybody to get me wrong there either. I mean, is Brett Rippon a downgrade from Russell Wilson in Seattle? Yeah, but I mean, right now Russell Wilson has looked like some bad quarterback in there for Denver. So that's why I'm like, why? To me, and Brett Rippon he's been in this situation before. Where he's gotten kind of thrown to the wolves. The Jets. Lost this game last year 26-0. I think there's big revenge here for the Jets. I think they'll come in and probably dominate the game now. I mean, when you see a serious move like this, it's tough to get involved. Maybe with a team like that because now you're laying points with the Jets. Denver's got a good D. I don't think anybody disagrees with that. I mean, they're 1-5 to the under this year, but the Jets are 3-0 straight up on the road. I'm just gonna have to go against you here, and I'm gonna have to take the over. I think Wilson has a nice, successful day against Denver. I can't. I mean, 37. Look, I love unders. You know that. But I think the Jets come in here, and the thing about what Brett Rippon's going to be able to do is now they're going to run a real offense. I think more so than when Russell Wilson was kind of just doing whatever he wanted to do a little bit. So. Yeah, I don't know. That not my favorite situation. I think of all these afternoon games.
We get to challenge Ramon. We get to arm wrestle this one.
Yep. Thanks for the Jets. A lot of Jets here, and I might be reserving the Jets for what too, because looks like a mismatch. Jets look, Jets look decent. Like I said, I mean, Sauce Gardner. When you have when you can start with.
I just had his wings at Buffalo Wild Wings, by the way, the Sauce Gardner sauce.
They have that?
Yeah, it's awesome. It's like a mix of the Asian zing and what was it? Spicy garlic, I think. So it's a hot. I mean, I guess he got the sauce because he's loved, sauce since he was like 5 years old.
So they've got it.
That's how he got the nickname, the sauce. So. So you have to try them out. Go get it at Buffalo Wild Wings, the sauce.
But, I mean, do they even say like?
Oh yeah,
Sauce Gardner, the Jets.
It's called literally the Sauce Gardner sauce. Is the sauce that
I'm going to Google that right away. So Sauce has already got his own. I mean, he's only been in the league 6 or 7 weeks, and he's already got his own B-Dubs. Deal.
Oh, see, Latifah, she tried it. Yeah, it's pretty good because he likes hot and but not too spicy. So he always says it's like a mixture of like a buffalo wing with a little bit of zing. So
okay, look at that. Well, I mean, I'm mild buffalo all the way. Mild buffalo all the way.
Yeah, this is more of like a medium. So.
Okay, I don't know. I mean, I'm mild. I'm serious. I mean,
we'll get you
I'm mild, but I can barely.
With your wing stuff.
Yeah, I could barely stand mild. I mean, I like barbecue too because I mean I'm really mild, and I don't mind the Hawaiian pineapple style. The pineapple.
Oh,
no,
okay.
More pineapple-y. Okay, well, okay. I'm excited about that. All right.
So you can get that today while you're watching football.
Maybe I'll get some DoorDash or something. You guys are cracking me up. I can't even find what I'm.
What you were trying to say.
I can't even find the next game. I can't even find the next game because of you guys. Okay, let's get to the Texans. Let's get to the Texans and the Raiders now. I did make my pick, I think there. Okay, Texans and the Raiders here in this one. The Raiders, they've shown some offense until they ran into that funky situation last out. And Houston, they found a guy to carry the load in Pierce. So there's still a huge dog here, but the Raiders aren't covering any numbers or anything. I don't know. What do you think?
Well, I don't know what to do with this one. It's kind of a weird game to me. I'm not sure how this one is going to play out. Not really my favorite game here. The Texans, they've won their last game against the Jaguars 13-6. Raiders lost to KC, we know, by a point. Houston does have a 26th ranked offense in the league. The Raiders are 4-0 against the spread in their last 4 in October. I think the Raiders are going to have enough to take this one today here. Versus the Texans. But again, it's a free pick. Not my favorite.
Yeah, I mean, I don't necessarily want to lay any points with the Raiders. That's what I was getting at. Teams are combined 2-7-1 right now to the number, right? So both teams are rapidly improving on the ground. I mean, there's no doubt that Houston is going to come in. This week, Lovey said that Pierce, it looks like 25 carries is almost a given for him right now, and a great strategy for Houston, I think, coming in to this one. And the Raiders also been really sharp on the ground. Yes, the Raiders have been involved in a couple of high-scoring games of late, but they might look to keep that ground game going right now. I would think in this one. I think it's, man, Mindy, I think it's too many points, and I'm going to go against you here already. Again, I'm going to take Houston in this one. And Latifa, though, is on the Raiders with you. So I'm out on the island. Oh boy, I'm alone here. Oh no,
No,
I
I think you
got
had one
Young
right up
Sharp.
there. You had one. There you go.
Yeah, I got Young Shard on money line. Yeah, I don't want. Okay, money line sprinkle maybe. So okay, well, hey,
We're getting there.
yep.
We'll find one, maybe.
No, we got a good game though. We got your Chiefs. A good game. Wow. Yeah, this one the Chiefs. They might even actually be. They're about a 1 point favorite. I mean, I know there's been some 1.5s. I think it's even been a little bit higher earlier in the week, but maybe it's coming back to San Francisco a little bit. But this is it. Not if it's not a great schedule today. This is the big game in the afternoon. We know that, and I don't know. You could say it's not a great schedule, but I mean, we are talking about two teams that are, among the best in the league, even though if maybe San Francisco has something to be desired offensively, they probably have that number one defense. Them in Buffalo.
Right. So Ramon, I made a video yesterday. Did you see it with me
Yeah,
and
I
the mini
did see it.
donkey? Yeah. So
You
yeah.
want me
So
to play it?
oh, yeah, right. No, you don't have to play it, but I'm just saying, go out and check it out so you can see my little mini donkeys. But yeah, I mean, these two teams here, it's a couple of strong offenses versus maybe some, mediocre defenses right now. The over. Oh, I'm doing the wrong game. One moment. Um, yeah, so I started doing the Seahawks game. So
Okay,
both these teams are coming off, losses. Chiefs lost to the Bills team. 49ers lost to the Falcons. It's a Chiefs offense versus, the 49ers defense. But then if I take a look at, the Chiefs, they're 1-5 in San Francisco. 49ers 2-0 at home. 49ers are second in the NFL. I just think they're going to make it hard on Patrick Mahomes here. And it's going to be interesting to see how McCaffrey, how it will all, maybe play out here. But I'm going to take the 49ers. I did have them at like +2 yesterday. So, I think they can go ahead and probably outright win this one.
You're right, Mindy. We are going to find one for sure. And this is going to be it because I agree. I mean, look, Kansas City, they're fine. They're fine. They'll be fine. They'll be good. But they do have some weaknesses. We know they probably are not the same Kansas City as we've seen. They're just a little bit down from those teams of the last couple of years. I think they only scored 20 points against Buffalo. I say only, but I mean Buffalo's got a strong defense. 49ers have it's almost a mirror image of defensively, I think, the way I feel about these two defenses. So and
Yeah.
now so you go up against Buffalo, now you're going up against another very good defense, right? And the Chiefs, they have those they ended up with two rookies, and Buffalo exploited that. And
100%.
yeah,
Right.
and things haven't gotten they haven't necessarily gotten healthy for the now. Granted, San Francisco does not have the weapons that Buffalo does, but we do know who they do have, and he's probably the best player that's not a quarterback on the field offensively, right, in Debo. So I think this is a great spot for San Francisco. I think the line kind of reflects, that maybe we have the right side here. Mindy, I will mention San Francisco 2-12 to the under their last 14 games overall. 2-13 to the under last 15 as non-division dogs. And also, how about the AFC 2-19 to the under the last 3 years against NFC teams when the total is under 54 points. I'm getting a 1 point with Shanahan. I'm going to take San Francisco here, though, with you. Put them on the money. Let's put them on the money line when we put it in the back. In the back, because no reason to. I don't think it's up to you, but I mean, I don't think just take
Plus
even
one
money.
doesn't really help you much, other
No,
than maybe a push.
yeah. If Kansas City wins by one, hats off to them. And yep, yeah. If there's one thing about the Chiefs that is improved, it's how good he's gotten with those passes. I'd almost give him a BW, call it the underhand zing, right? He's so good with that right now. I mean, he can run with it, and it's almost like he puts a reverse spiral on it when he throws it underhanded. It really is something amazing. I mean, it's obviously something you have to work on. You just don't. Here's what Young Shard says exactly what we're going to do, right, Mindy?
That's right.
Yeah, yeah. But Mahomes is. I mean, it really is uncanny. Maybe when talk about, and Mindy, that's Mindy's team, so she knows. But
It is
these
true.
receivers are a bit of a problem right now.
Yeah, Schuster finally had a decent game last
Yeah,
time out. Other than that, they've been silent other than Kelsey. I mean, it's pretty much
yeah.
been
And
non-existent.
Kelsey could
It's
have a
Kelsey and the running backs. That's who's been, catching the passes.
yeah.
So
And Kelsey, the one thing he could, the San Francisco got a great defense, but if they could throw it to, the problem is you can wear Kelsey out real fast and real easy by you going to the well too often. But the Chiefs will need to go to Kelsey as often as possible in this game if they want to have any chance to win. Because I don't like any other matchups really against San Francisco here, running game or passing. Only Kelsey. I
and
think.
Mahomes, he's been known to make mistakes when he gets pressure. I don't know why more teams don't blitz him outright all the time, especially when he doesn't really have those weapons. I mean, he used to have Tyreek where, he could just launch it up when they were coming, but don't really have that too much anymore. So I am rooting for, the Odell Beckham thing. If that does happen,
Yeah.
who knows? It sounds like they're going to maybe make a stab for him. So
Well,
we'll
look,
see.
San Francisco went out and got. I mean, the Chiefs went out and got good as good as you could. You can't just go out and get all pro or whatever. I mean, you got to find. And they went out. These guys are good receivers. They're just not necessarily elite or
Right.
quite up to the standard of what they had. And Mahomes can make you look good also. So there's been frustration on the receivers' parts too. They've known they've dropped balls, and they just they're like, oh man, okay. So there's our
All right.
consensus
We got
play.
it.
Our
Consensus
first
play.
consensus play. San Francisco over Chiefs. And my Chargers here going to be a favorite against Seattle. 4.5. That's way down from an opener that could have been as high as 8.5 on the look ahead. 6.5 this week, and this total has been dropping. The total opened about 52. The long look ahead was 53.5. So really, the move is on Seattle and the under. Can you get behind that?
I'm gonna say maybe not. The game here, it does pit the two strong offenses against the two weak defenses, right? Chargers score a ton of points here, 23, per game. Maybe not, you would say a ton, but enough. But their defense gives up enough, right? About 25 points a game. While Seattle, they're scoring 25 plus points here and allowing 27 points plus. So to me, I'm going to take a look at the over and not the under, and I'll take that number when it keeps dropping. The over here is 4-1, the Chargers' last 5 games, following a straight-up win. I think there should be plenty of offense here. I do think Herbert is struggling some. I think he's more injured than what we think, only because, if I watched him last time, he had a hard time throwing that Hail Mary pass. Just hasn't really looked very good. I think that's why you're seeing all of the underneath to Eckler. And I think that is actually what can exploit the Seahawks in this, is the underneath, the little timing patterns, the little crossing routes. I think those are the plays that can exploit the Seahawks in this one. I'm not sure who's going to win this one. I think it's going to be a good battle. I'm excited for it. I like watching, the Seahawks. I might have my hat up here, but it's one of those things that I'm not quite sure on the side, but I really like the total going over today.
things should go way over, Mindy. I'm not saying I was hoping you'd pick the side because I wanted to keep the
Ah,
total as a premium for me. I'm never going to do that. I mean, if you say over and I'm on the over and I haven't put in as a premium, to me that's that's a premium for us. And I do I think, look, remember, it's see look, the Chargers ended up in a funky game because of the you know, short week or whatever, right? I mean, that was what it was. Now you're getting Seattle. I mean, this is that terrible, terrible defense, right? Against the Chargers, and uh, yeah. Here's the thing: Herbert can only get healthier as they go along. We all made fun of Eckler. He wasn't doing anything the first half of the season. Now he's an All-Pro for the last 2 or 3 weeks. All of a sudden, right? And he gets to face a bad, bad defense. And like I said, I like what these Charger the new guys come along all the time, it seems like, and Herbert might be one of those quarterbacks that makes receivers better, type of thing. So you have the Chargers against that Seattle D. I mean, this has to be another. I agree with some of the chat. Maybe it's a close one, but I think the values with the Chargers, because the spread's gone down, they just don't show any penchant, for covering numbers. Um, I'm considering, if I'm considering a premium with it'd be on the Chargers, but I want to go over for sure and get on board with you here because don't forget Seattle, they're also kind of a top 10 scoring offense still
mhm.
right now, and the Chargers are near the bottom in points allowed. They're like I don't know, 26 or something like that. They're giving up points, and Gino's been fine. He's been fine, and we know that Seattle's got good receivers that can do some big play scoring, and we're also getting a bonus the fact that the line's gone down some. So we've
Right.
got another premium. There it
All
is.
right. We got
Seattle and Chargers, no doubt. All right, yeah, I'm excited about that one.
it.
Like I said, it was going either way. It was either with you or in uh, on my card. So
Personal
either
line,
way,
yeah.
yeah. All right. Can we flex? Can we? We can't flex yet. It's only week 7. We can't flex any games in or out
Right.
and replace this game somehow. We want to see Tua. We want to see him back, and so we're excited about that. Don't know. If Pickett. Tomlin has said if Pickett is ready, he'll be in there, and he did practice on Wednesday, but he still has to clear the concussion protocol. It may have already happened. I haven't even checked my Adam Schefter notes yet.
Yeah, I
Uh,
don't know either, Ramon. I'm sorry.
Okay. No, maybe when you're talking, I'll do it. If anybody in the chat has seen yet, like I said, I mean, oh wow, look at that. Is there that big of a line move? 8.5? Are there? Oh, I'm not quite seeing that, Shard. I'm showing a juiced up 7 a little bit, but I have not seen Dolphins laying 8.5 at this point. I might consider the Steelers there, but Mindy, go ahead with this one. That's the story. Well, I'll set up more storyline. Of course, I mean you have uh, basically Flores on the Steelers still. You have Minka Fitzpatrick, revenge game, blah blah blah.
Yeah. So, the Steelers, they won in that, maybe you could call it an upset versus a Buccaneers team that looks very disinterested at the moment. Dolphins lost to the Vikings, 16-24. But we know how that went with quarterbacks and such too. They get to a back, like you talked, with, concussion protocol there. But, I still think they're going to be more conservative in this game. They're going to want to keep him healthy. I don't know if they're going to roll him out. I don't know if they're going to let him pass too much. I think it's going to come down to, a lot on the run game here today. But when they're conservative with the run, that's also then means that you have a Steelers defense that's pretty stout there on the line. I'm going to go with the Steelers, though, in this one. Underdog is 4-1 against the spread the last 5 between these two. I do like the Steelers where they are in this spot today, only because I think it's going to be a slow moving, kind of ugly-ish game. I'm not so sure how much they're going to do with Tua, and that's the part that kind of gives my my concern there. I'm going to go with those Steelers.
Yeah, I think the line just looks a little bit too high to me. I'm gonna want to get on this with you, I think, and give us a third consensus play for the app. Well, for
And I
the
hope by the time this show's over, I get it at 8.5, right,
well,
Ramon?
right. I mean, we might just I don't know. We want to put together maybe a 3-pack, but I mean, I don't know if it's going there. I mean, with all due
Yeah.
respect to young Shard, I mean, I might Venmo you some money, and maybe we can get on some of that 8.5 and play around with that a little bit, buy some points, and create that middle. But either way, I think seven's kind of too high too. Again, this one's kind of gone up because two is back. Look, I mean, it was a disastrous situation without Tua. With Tua, they cover numbers. I will give you that. And without him, they don't. Or I should say, with the other quarterback, they don't. But the Steelers, whatever you can, Pickett goes down. He's injured. MVP Mitch comes in. They get the win against Tampa Bay. It's a great sign
Right.
for Pittsburgh. So good on them. And Miami, to me, they're still, you know, they're kind of a disaster organization. We already know that they already had all the problems. Now they've got this situation. Yes, it's past us now because Tua is about ready to come back and all that. But they can't get anything right in this organization. I don't trust Lane. I mean, I'm not saying that's why you base your pick the way it is, but they're not a winning organization at this point. So it makes it really tough to cover numbers against a team like Pittsburgh that can take, a situation where everybody's starting to get injured and you don't know what's going on, and then you're Pittsburgh and all of a sudden you fix things up a little bit, clean up some defense. You got to shut down players defensively like Fitzpatrick, who, this is a big game for him. Obviously, he'll probably have a monster game in this one. I mean, Tua's fine. I know Waki Okinda asked about who'd go with Tua or Dak. I mean, you might still get more production with Tua just because you might get the underneath stuff and everything there. But let's take Pittsburgh.
Sounds good to me. Ramon is healing from a little bit of illness over the last week or so he'll be back here in a second. But yeah, I mean, I know that this game has been pretty crazy here, but I tend to agree that I think this one is going to be a slow the pace, probably leaning towards that under. 44.5 or under has been pretty decent this season for catching the under. As we talked about, it's been at about 61% as well. And so, yeah, I mean, I think, that's probably where this game leans to as well there.
Thanks, buddy. I was just dying. Let's take Pittsburgh as a premium. As a consensus.
He's getting better, so that's good. I mean, it was like if you saw him on Monday, you were like wondering what was going on.
Yeah,
we blame it on all of the rain and viruses there in San Diego.
Well, that was that was like last week, and I'm fine now. But
so you say.
Okay, let's continue to get into this now with our next. That's it for NFL today. Great card, you guys.
I know.
We got three consensus there with San Francisco, yep. Seattle Chargers over, and Pittsburgh.
We got it. Sounds like wins to me.
All right. Let's go over to the NBA now, where there's a nice card. 7 games, and it's going to kick off with an early game. The Lakers are going to play when the NFL is going off, I guess. That sounds like a good strategy. I wouldn't want to watch them either.
Right.
But that one's going to just be a 12:40. Portland's going to be in there. Lakers are favored here by 3.5, and the total is up to 226.
Oh, my. It keeps going up, huh? Well, I mean, Trailblazers are 2-0 on the season. Lakers still pretty sloppy. Not as bad, actually, versus the Clippers. I mean, if you look at the rundown with the way that one ended, I expected them to have a whole bunch of turnovers. But instead, no, they were unable to rebound in that game. So it's like they kind of get some things squared away. and then they don't get the others. So it's like, if they can ever get it together all at once, maybe they'll be a little bit more, productive. But again, Trailblazers 14-6 against the spread the last 20 meetings in LA. I'm going to take the Trailblazers in this one.
All right. Yeah, I mean, these guys always go under usually when they face one another too in those games. It's often kind of a bit of a big trend to the under. 1-6 the last 7 meetings have gone under. 13 of the last 17 have gone under. But I respect this move that's going on here right now. That's what I think. Yeah. Yeah, I really respect the move here. I'm going to have to go over. I mean, it's against my better judgment, but I think that the pressure is going to be on the Lakers. Obviously, I mean they're the ones that are 0-2, and Portland's 2-0, and the Lakers don't play right now very good defense at all, in my opinion. So I know Portland's also 0-2 so far to the under, but for me, I'm going to go over 226. That's going to be my pick today in Portland and Lakers. All right, Hornets and the Hawks. So we're getting now into the later. This will be at 2:10 Pacific, 5:10 Eastern. Mindy, the Hawks are at home. They're a 10-point favorite here, 227.5.
Yeah, see, the Hornets lost to the Pelicans last time out by 12. I was on the Hornets that one, and I got a lot of grief for being on the Hornets. So maybe, I should accept that. But they did keep it close for, 3 quarters in there. It's just when they got down the stretch, wasn't able to play ball. So, yeah, I mean, the Pelicans, they're a good team. And the Hawks won against the Magic 108-98 in their last games. But I'm going to take a look at the over total in this one, over 6-2 in the last 8 between these two. I like the over 220. I had it at 229, so I like it at 227, even better.
I do too. Thank you.
Are we doing a consensus play on the over, Ramon?
Yeah. Charlotte 2-0 to the over so far. These two teams have gone solidly to the under of late, but when they play each other. But for me, I do like it over in this one. Yeah, I've got it closer to over 230. I even had one model that had it close to 232. So I'm going to go over in this one. We're going to have a consensus play here. Charlotte and Atlanta going against that trend. 1-6 to the under last 7 meetings. Atlanta has 0-2 to the under so far. But like I said, Charlotte 2-0 to the over so far, and Gerardo hit it right on the spot.
Pace of play means a whole lot, especially if you have decent, shooting percentages with those teams. So, yeah.
Jazz and Pelicans here in this one. The Pelicans are up to an 8.5-point favorite. The total 230.
Yeah, again, both of these teams are playing well, 2-0. Still going to look at the total. I think we're going to go over again in this one. It's 13-4, the last 17 meetings between the two of these. I'm going to go over again. I had it at 229.5, so it's ticked up just a little bit. So take the over.
All right, Mindy's going on the over here. I'm going to be looking at the Utah Jazz plus the points here in this one. Both teams are 2-0 straight up against the spread. Who'd have thought that Utah would get off to such a strong start, considering, I don't know. I kind of hinted that maybe it was the best move for Utah to move in this direction. I don't think anybody saw that kind of start coming, but always been a good trip for Utah, 12-5-1 against the spread. Their last 18 trips to New Orleans. They've also 22-10 to the over last 32 meetings. So that also solidifies your position there. I'm not. It does look a little high to me to jump on board with you, so I'm going to end up taking Utah as my free play plus the points against the Pelicans. So Mindy's on the over, and I'm on the Jazz. There used to be the New Orleans Jazz. You know that?
I don't recall that.
Yep. So the revenge. It's always revenge for New Orleans when the Utah comes in, keeping the nickname.
Yeah, right.
When it was the New Orleans Jazz for many years back in the 70s and early 80s, I think. All right, gonna go with the Wizards and the Cavs here as soon as I get rid of the promo and the
They come in here like every week.
chat. Well, they got to promote those illegal streams. If anybody wants illegal stream information, hit me up on my other Twitter account at Ramon Scott Media. I'll be glad to help you out. Can I say that? Okay.
Right.
Maybe I shouldn't do that. No, don't do that.
Ramon has multiple income streams.
Washington and Cleveland here. The Cavaliers are favored down to 3.5. Total 216.5.
Yeah, I mean, both of these teams are coming off games against the Bulls, with the Wizards winning 102-100, Cavs winning 128-96. Over is 7-1. Oh, I got a little. Oh my goodness, I got a creature. But yeah, the over is 7-1 in the Cavs' last 8 games following the straight up win. I'm gonna take the over here again, Ramon.
Okay. Mindy says go over, and I'm pretty sure that I'm joining you. I just want to look at, make sure my injury reports, everything's clear on that. Yeah, we're going over for sure. I think in this one, Washington and Cleveland, I don't have much to back it up as far as the trends are concerned. The trends would say this might be a solid under. Washington's 0-2 the under so far. The series 6-13 to the under. I get all that, but I think if you look right now, the way these two teams are going early on, I want to be on the over in this game, especially at this very reasonable price, a very reasonable line of 216.5. We're definitely going to be on this one together, Mindy, over in Washington and Cleveland. So we've got a couple of overs so far on our NBA card here on Sunday.
We're rooting for lots of points.
Over with the Wizards and Cleveland, 216.5. Minnesota and OKC. Oh, where's it at?
Versus the Cavaliers.
Right? Did I get the right?
No, you just need
Minnesota and Cleveland. Is that? I'm sorry. I wrote the wrong. Okay.
Yeah, you just need to get the Thunder in there, right?
Thunder.
Yeah.
There we go. I guess I wrote.
He's going against me today.
I did the same team twice. Yeah. Timberwolves here. Yeah, and the line's wrong too, right? I obviously typed in the I just was copy and pasting and didn't do a very good job. They're 8.5 point favorite, and the total is 228.
So the Timberwolves, they're 8-1 against the spread on the versus the Thunder on the road over their last 9. I think I'm going to take the Timberwolves here I had it at -7.5. You said it's 8.5 now.
Yeah, and I'm trying to fix it. I've really botched this one. We really probably should start it over almost, but that's okay. I mean, that's the correct line. Mindy says she's going to take the Timberwolves. Yeah, I mean, it's 8.5. I don't think you're going to get away from that at this point on the show, or if you played it earlier, whatever. But it's a total, it did go up from 225.5 up to 228. So I don't know. For me, I think that totally intimidates me. 8.5, 7. The line definitely worries me. I think here in that one. And now the total is totally on the move. 9-1 to the over. The last 10 meetings in OKC. I had a premium on this one, Mindy, if it was 225.5. So you said Minnesota, though, right?
I did, yes.
Okay. I'm going to just have to give for me, the over. I'm going to use it as a free pick now. It was going to be a premium at 225.5, but at 228, I'm not sure I can do it right now. So Airplane Boop isn't going to be against me here. He's with you on the Wolves, but he's against me with the total. So, but
challenge, Ramon, challenge.
Yeah, well, he's getting the better of the line now too, and I'm not. So I can't go premium anymore here on this one, and I've got to go on the over, but I've got over 228, I guess. I've got over, and Mindy's on Minnesota. Kings and Warriors. Warriors in this one, 9.5, and the total 231.5, and it's going up.
Yeah, I mean, both these teams are coming off losses, but did win with the Kings last night with the points. Clippers and Warriors, lost to the Nuggets there. The over is 5-2 in the Warriors' last 7 home games. Man, I feel like I'm on a lot of over totals here today, though. I'm taking over 230.
Yeah, that scares me. My window's way lower, Mindy, so I don't think I can get on board. I know the Warriors are 2-0 to the over so far, and yeah, I mean, look, I mean, that Denver game was tough, right? So give the Warriors some. That probably was a to think that they were going to go out and just beat Denver. I mean, that you're probably looking at two of the better teams right now in the West. So for sure, Warriors and under for airplane boop here. But for me, it's going to be all about the Kings. I think in this one, don't the Warriors always end up laying too many points to the Kings in this series? Yes, the Sacramento Kings are 9-2. Their last 11 trips at Golden State. Sure, Golden State's great. Sacramento, not great. We know that, but for some reason, it's always a little bit too high, and the Warriors end up just being able to win the game and not cover usually. So I'm going to take Sacramento Kings plus the points, and Mindy said go over, right, with the
Correct.
230. So, all right, well, we got 2 so far. We got 1 game left. Let's see if we can. We're not going to just we're not going to agree to agree. We'll have to figure out what we're going to do. If we get an even number, hint, hint, we got to have an odd number sometimes, or we got to do some things with our packaging.
Creative maneuvering.
I don't know if I'm probably supposed to give these secrets away or not. But Phoenix and the Clippers are a favorite here. It's down to 1. Maybe a juiced. It's down to 1. It really is. Total is 218.5, and it's going down.
Oh, goodness, Ramon. Let's see what we can do here. Suns lost to the Trailblazers. Clippers beat the Kings. Under is 4-0 in the last 4 meetings between those two. Give me the under 218.5.
Okay. Well, yeah, and that's the direction it's moving. So that to me looks, sort of like a sharp side to me. So I don't necessarily have, a problem with that. But for me, I think this might be the spot for. I want to lean with the Clippers here. I think at this reasonable price. To me, Clippers look good, right? I mean, I think the Clippers are going to be that team right now. I'm not sure. I mean, I love Kawhi. Does look a little thick right now, right? Doesn't look like old Kawhi, but maybe a little bit of strength in there is what they needed. So I'm going to end up here on the Clippers tonight against Phoenix in that late game. Both teams 0-2 to the under so far. So that helps Mindy's cause, I think, there. Phoenix 0-2 against the spread so far. Last 4 meetings have gone under, Mindy. Clippers 11-4 against the spread versus the Suns at home over the last 15 meetings. I'll take Clippers. Mindy's got under. We've got 2 premium consensus in the NBA tonight.
Yeah. So we got Hornets Hawks over 227.5. Wizards Cavaliers over 216.5.
Okay, well, maybe we'll have to package it up as a multi-sport pack.
There we go.
Go over to see what's going on in the National Hockey League tonight and today. Take a look at this card and look at this one. I'm going to bring up the goalies to make sure when I put these in, there was only one goalie that was confirmed, and it was Stalock
yeah.
Of Chicago. And I think that's why we've seen the drastic move, possibly because of his, relative inexperience, I would say. But to have Seattle on the road here against Chicago, Seattle, $1.40 now, $1.45. It does seem, and the total is moving under now. It's 6 under 15. So I'm seeing a lot of movement here.
Yeah, I mean, this one has never gone over in the
Really?
last 3 years. So I'm going to take the under. Blackhawks are actually giving up with Stalock less than 1 goal per game. I'm going to take the under 6, Ramon.
Okay. Well, the teams are combined to go 6-3 to the over so far this season. In Chicago's games so far, they've gone 7 goals total with their opponent in 3 of the 4. But for me, Chicago, they're not playing Colorado or VGK here, where they had tough games. Now they beat Detroit and San Jose, and I'm putting Seattle with Detroit and San Jose, even though we've had a good game with them the other night, whatever. Now to be favored like this, Chicago beat Detroit, beat San Jose. They're playing Seattle. Seattle's, I don't know, they're still not great. I mean, come on, let's be real here. But meanwhile, Chicago, had tougher games where they didn't fare as well against elite teams, Colorado and VGK. So I say elite, very good teams, put VGK in the good team category. But what they've had, and Gerardo says it's a little high. The Kraken are playing better than the Blackhawks. I'm going Chicago though. I'm going Chicago as my free play here as an underdog at home against the Kraken. So Mindy's got the under. I've got the Blackhawks. All right, the Islanders, Sorokin, Florida, Bobrovsky. I'm going to call up those goalies again, make sure in case there's been any announcements so far. But we have here Florida, probably buck 95 or 200 total, 6.5. It's shaded to the under, maybe 250, maybe minus 115 to the under.
Yeah, and I'm going to head to the under. Under's 10-1 in the last 11 for the Panthers. Under 27-10 in the Islanders last 37. Under 10-3 when they play each other. And then also, if you take a look at both of these teams, they're tied for 11th in goals against as well. So they've been playing pretty good defensively. I'll take the under.
All right. Mindy's going to go under in Islanders and Florida. And for me, look, I don't want to get in the habit of laying any $2 favorites, but here on our show, I'm going to 40 view. I love you guys. 40 viewers. This is breaking.
We were up to Ramon during football. We were up to 52.
Oh, okay.
All so, right. But still,
I wasn't paying attention. All right.
I got all but we're good. We're still have 40th into the show.
Thank you, everybody. This has been awesome. Anyways, in Florida, I don't want to get in the habit of laying any $2 favorites here, especially for our 40 plus viewers, but I'm going to do so today. I don't want to lay the puck line because they have been terrible on the puck line so far. Florida has. They're 1-4 on the puck line. But I think they are the better team here. Maybe we'll see what the goalie situation is with the if Sorokin is the goalie. Definitely gives them a strong chance, I would think. With him in there. But Get a King, nice to have you in the chat. Welcome. Anyways, I'm going to go Florida if I may with lay $2 today on a free pick. I don't want to lay the puck line. Mindy's going to go on the under. And that's just the way it's going to be. Maybe it's Sunday, so, you can put him in a money line parlay, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, I'm on Florida. All right. All right, Mindy, we got to find – well, we don't have to find something. I know we don't have to press it. I know we got, told what – anyways, Columbus and Merzlikins, Rangers and Shesterkin. We don't know. No confirmation of these yet. Anyways, Rangers, big favorite here. This one's been on the move, though, big time. Now it's up to – are you serious? This thing, Mindy, is now Merzlikins must not be the goalie today. It's 280, 285 now for the Rangers. This thing opened as low as like $1.70.
Yeah. So, the Rangers, though, they're 2-2-2 versus Columbus. and that's with Shesterkin, in the net. The road team is actually 8-3 in this one. Blue Jackets, they're 4-1 the last 5 in New York. I'm actually going to take the Blue Jackets here on the puck line. I like the plus 1.5 goals in this one.
All right. Well, I'll do it with you. I mean,
If you have
well, here's the thing. I want to play them on the money line in a way, but I think that might be a safer, especially now because you can get them at plus 1.5 at almost even money. So that looks fine to me. I'm willing to do that with you. I'll go ahead. I'll play my own sprinkle of money line. I could do that, right? I mean, I don't have to
Did you see
necessarily.
that? Look at what Carrie just said.
Oh, okay. Let's take a look. I'm sorry. Sometimes you guys are going fast for me. Appreciate it. Todd George, welcome. Nice to have you as well. Oh, so great to see all these great new, whether you've watched before or whatever. It's really exciting for us to have these numbers continue to go up. Appreciate some of those other comments as well. Really makes me feel good. Us feel good. But anyways, Mindy, yeah, up to 310 now. And agree, Carrie.
Wow.
Agree. Big, it's just a runaway favorite. Does not seem right to me. Columbus can score goals. I think this price has just gotten too high. Columbus has been terrible in the puck line so far, Mindy. That's what worries me. But I mean, with this underdog, if you cover the puck line, you are either going to cover the puck line or you're going to win the game outright. So hard to kind of add that in as part of the handicap. But Carrie's on it too. We're all on it because the line is just ridiculous and out of control. And if they take our money, they can, take our money at 30 cents on the dollar, 33 cents or 35 cents on the dollar. But we're taking them on the puck line. So,
Yes.
minus 105 is probably the worst you're going to get it there, but let's do it, Minnie. There's at least a third play on the other sports. Let's see if we come up with anything else. So,
well, we only got one left, right?
No, there's two, I think, on hockey. Let's Anaheim and Detroit.
Did I miss one? Is that what I did?
Just
no, well, maybe we'll see.
Okay.
Oh no, I got it. They were just I just placed them in a different order. We're good.
Anaheim and Detroit. Yeah, Detroit here favored $1.35 or so, 6.5. Oh, this total's gone up, 6.5 under 15. Wow.
Yeah, and I'm gonna go under that 6.5 goals here. Under is 7-2 in the last 9 games. Both these teams are not really particularly scoring, well here. They're 25th and 27th in the league in scoring. So I'm going to go to the under for the Ducks and the Red Wings.
Okay. Well, that kind of bothers me a little bit now. Not that you're on the under, but I was looking over at a lower number, and now I don't feel as confident, if you will, in that. So maybe I'm going to end up staying away, I think, from the total. There is the way I feel about it. But for me, I think I've got a little bit of value here, maybe on Detroit in this one. Anaheim's already they've whiffed on the road so far, right? They're already down 4 units. Detroit hasn't lost in regulation, right? So Anaheim's got that bad offense going against the Detroit defense. It's been pretty decent so far. And Detroit's been, what can you say? Detroit's been a nice story so far. That's all I'm trying to say. I've got Detroit as my free play. Mindy's got the under. And finally, San Jose going up against Philadelphia. In this one, Philadelphia, about $1.20 now, 6 under 20.
Yeah, Sharks are 11-2-1 versus those Flyers. And in that time, they've outscored them 102-62. That's a bunch of known. I like San Jose where they were playing yesterday. Like them today. Plus 120.
This is one of those games, isn't it? it's one of those games where, you mentioned, I mean, it's 23-4-2 to Philadelphia, to San Jose, right? In the
Right.
last 29 games. That's uncanny. I mean, that's crazy. They're just not, I mean, and again, if you look at it, right, this is what bothers me about the whole thing. I mean, Philadelphia, we know they're 4-1. San Jose is 1-6, and
Right.
here you can only get even money. Now, is the public, are the bookmakers, are the sharps looking at the fact that San Jose is 23-4-2 against them in the last 29? Is that what they're looking at? Is that why we can only get even money out of this? That's what bothers me, with this whole thing, with this particular game. But uh, did you say money line? You got to say
Yeah.
money line, right? Yeah. All
Yeah.
right. I guess there's something to it. I guess I'll do. I'm willing to do it. I guess there's something to it. We'll have to figure out what we're doing. We could come up with, what we'll do is we'll
We'll be all right.
make something a $15 play, our best bet. It might be this one, right? Because it's the only late game, and it's kind of a weird one. Like, it bothers me, Mindy, that why can't I only get even money on a
On
team
a
that's
4-0
one and
team.
that's
Right.
that's 1-6 on the road against a team that's 4-1 at home? Is this one of those all the sharps are on San Jose type of game? I mean, Todd, thank you. Nice to see Todd George join us as well. So great to see everyone today. I guess I'm being rhetorical. You don't have to answer that, but it's just
That's kind of what I thought. I was like, oh, well, okay, probably.
yeah, no, right. But why can't I only get even money? Okay, I say even money. You could probably get plus $1.05 or but still, it just doesn't. It
Yeah.
doesn't make any sense. I'm not getting the best price on it, but there must be something. And again, we are dealing with that trend of the fact that they've beaten them 23, or they've only lost to them in regulation 4 out of the last 29 games that they've played.
It's
Now,
crazy.
that's a long-term sample, personnel changes and all that, but that is just weird. Okay. All right.
It
We
is
get it.
weird.
Yeah. I don't know.
Yeah,
All
so
right.
we got the Blue Jackets plus 1.5 goals and the Sharks on the money line. Bet them. Do it. Get some winners in there today.
All right. Head on over to our website, tonyspicks.com. There you'll find our premium picks, our best picks every day. Tony, right there. That's where we left off. But click on the All Cappers tab. You'll find all of our handicappers over there and all of their packages today for the games as well. You can go to the premium picks section, and there you'll find more handicapper leaderboards. Click on the handicappers, see who's hot. I'm up there, pretty good week
right.
so far. There's a section we want to look at right there. Our best bets. Every handicapper can designate a best bet. You see the GM's got one. Collins has one. Brandon's got his in a couple of sports. Sam's got them as well. Paul and Tony and Tiffany as well. And you and I are going to end up with one here as part of our crew. Also, $15 picks are in, and get our multi-sport multiple game packs as well. So, all right, Mindy, don't forget our account though, the Mornings Team account, where all of our picks that we just gave out, where you get them absolutely free. If you miss our show, you can always subscribe to our packages over there. And we've got an NFL package up right now with our 3 early games, Mindy.
That's right. We have our 3 games that we went over on Thursday. We always do the first half of the card then, and then to give you some more fun football stuff, we give you the rest on Sundays. And we kind of do the NCAA football card. We sprinkle that throughout the week. We'll start on that again tomorrow for next week already, so you can never get enough college football out there as well. And then, of course, we do still cover Major League Baseball, the NHL, and the NBA daily. So you can come with us, watch a show. We are the earliest show on, so we are out there to give you the lines first. And Ramon being a market capper to help you along the way, me being just a stats girl, we get our brains together and we come up with this amazing thing called the Morning Steam. that's been pretty successful thus far. So we're glad that you guys are liking it. We've only been doing it now for a couple months. So yeah, tell your friends about us, have them watch our show, or at least go ahead and watch the replays, because Tony does put them all out there on replay. Also breaks up the games if you want them individually. So you can go over and just type the morning's team, San Jose Sharks, and then we'll bring up the game today. And you can watch our little segment replay. Also, you can listen to everything on podcasts now too, if that's kind of more your style, rather than watching YouTube as well. So yeah, it's been going well. We're glad that you guys like the show. Let us know if there's anything else that you need or that we can provide, and we're always willing to come up and have new ideas and suggestions.
Well, thanks for picking up the slack for me today when I can't talk part of the time. Appreciate that. And use the promo code TonyT at checkout. Save 20% off all premium pick packages. Thanks for joining us today on the Morning Steam. We're back tomorrow with another show, including Monday Night Football too. We'll talk about them as well. And Minnie said get started on that college ball and the other sports as well. And of course, we'll preview, even though they'll have a day off, we'll be previewing Game 6 of the National League Championship Series when the series moves back to San Diego, where they'll have the last 2 games at home. And once they get that, they'll be able to win their series against the Phillies, I hope. All right. All right. Thanks, Mindy. Great job. See you tomorrow, everybody. Thanks.
Bye-bye.